What's up, guys? Hello, survivors. Hello. How's your Sundays going? How's the Sundays going? We're going to be live in this stream for probably an hour and a half or so. You see where the event ends in 9 hours 23 minutes. We're going to get to 8 hours because that is the end of day 2, and we'll probably stream for another 15 minutes or so after that. We might just do a full 2 hours. We'll see. We might just do the full 2. When it gets to 8 hours left, I'll do a rundown of the scores as well, and that'll be the lockdown official sort of, I don't know, top 37 of War of Champions, like we did yesterday. But how's it doing? How's it doing, guys? How's it going? Hope your Sundays are good. Hope your weekend's going well. Who we got in chat? We got Negan, giving it the the bird wave, the bird emoji. Oh, nice little one. We have is it Jorge Philippe? Thank you very much for tuning in. The Neko, what's up? How you doing, man? Masks. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope your weekends are going good. Lockdown managed to get a really good night's sleep yesterday. Really good night's sleep, like long one. Not slept for a long time, like for a long period in one go for ages. So it felt good. It felt good. Brazil. Get a lot of Brazilian viewers in here. I love it. Hello, Mr. Russian man or woman. Thank you very much for tuning in. I can't read your name. It's just Russian names, man. It's hard. I mean, I can hit the translate. Let's see. Let's see. Translate. Does it work? Sometimes it doesn't like to work. Anastasia. Okay, thank you very much for tuning in, Anastasia. The right click. It worked. Okay, we'll scroll down. I'll go through the top 37 here. The gap seems to be opening up a little bit with the top 3, as you can see. Yesterday we had Walkers and Scorched Earth quite close, but now there's like 500k between them, so it's looking good for the top 3 as it is. I don't see, at least the top 2, I don't see anyone breaking into the top 2. I can't see Walkers catching Victus, and I can't see anyone catching Walkers, so I think the top 2 are fairly safe, unless they take their foot off the gas, obviously. If they start not playing, as long as they just keep playing as active as they have been, they should be okay. But then this is where it gets tight. Look at that. Look at the scoreline there. 3rd and 4th. That's crazy. That is actually mental. 20k between them. It would become top 3 or 4th place. And that's the difference between getting the characters straight up or having to get them via milestones. So that's a pretty big deal if you want to get the character. Well, I mean, if you get the character straight up in 3rd place, at least the milestone rewards, you can claim the other stuff. And there's pretty decent stuff in there. There's like Varnish, Trainers, so it's definitely good. And then we have some fairly, I mean, I guess you could say ETT could catch them as well. I think this is between these 3 factions for top 3. And then we have a gap open up again, and like a million points behind in 6th place is Days After Rodeo. I think they were 4th or 5th yesterday. So they've fallen behind massively. I guess some of these factions have different shifts, obviously, and seeing some bigger gaps opening up. 7th and 8th, another million. But it is widening a bit. Top 10 looks fairly safe, unless the Nightmare Bears manage to pull up. Just gonna keep scrolling down. There are a couple of. We need to see the brackets actually. What's the brackets? Is it 17th to 21st and 22nd to 30th? Okay, so let's see the 16th place position. It's not too close. 50k, 40k. So it's not super close. But I mean, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. And then it's 17th to 21st. Again, not super close. 30k. Sorry, 300k. A bit more than 30k. Same up here. It's like 350k. But yeah, 300k. So they should be safe. 22nd down to 31st, was it? Was it 31st? Let me just check. Down to 30th. Okay, I think that's pretty close. Yeah, they're exactly the same score. Look at that. Suicide Squad and Poduli are exactly the same score line. So, and the reward difference there is not huge, but it's big enough. Like, it's actually 10 bennies that you get instead of 10 4-star trainers, which is actually a pretty big deal. And then you get 1k. Oh, I think this box is exactly the same. It looks exactly the same. You get a little bit more armory tokens and you get 10 bennies. So you're playing for better trainers basically at that point. And we'll keep scrolling down. And there we go. How many have they ward? 127. And the top faction has wards 186. I mean, I'm guessing a lot of these lower factions down here who haven't really got much to play for now. Like, I'd say like, I mean the bottom 4 or 5 maybe. Actually, like from 32 below, they don't really have much to play for except milestones. So what's going to happen is they're going to stop queuing as much. And this is a big issue in war, I think, not just in War Champions, in any war, is what makes people keep playing when they've got nothing, like no position to play for on the scoreboards. It's a hard question. It's a hard question. Very tired, Pernix. I'm not feeling like 100%. Just I did get a full night's sleep, which is rare things. Just finished my 300k. Just gotta hope my faction can hold top 15. What top 50 is it? Top 15? Yeah, top 16. You get 4k. Are you gonna go for the Steve dudes? You're going for the Steve. So how many did you get there? 4k. So 300k is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So you'd have enough. What happens if you drop one more? 3k. So you're not going to push for 400k just in case. You get 2 plat mods as well. And there we go. See, this is why it's good to come top 3, because you can get like varnish if you get 500k, blow torches, bennies, trainers, and all that. It's always a good idea. WoC makes like World Champions makes you lose a lot of sleep. Yeah, no doubt. If you're trying to go for like high individual score, I think the factions that are on top probably do have organized shifts. You know, be the smartest way to do it. You know, you have 10 players available. Like you've got 30 players in your faction, right? You have 3 8-hour shifts, and then you just have 10 players available for each 8 hours. That'd be literally the best way to do it. And then every player has to be available an hour before their shift and an hour after their shift just to fill. They can do whatever they want after that, but realistically, you should just get some rest. That's how a really good faction would do it, a really organized one. The only problem there is you're going to be spreading your power maybe a bit around. That's the only the only issue. Or like, can you divide it by 8? No, you can't really, can you? No. Two days of lockdown in a row, yeah. Well, I'm going to do another stream later on tonight in about 8 hours. So for the last hour of War of Champions, and then like for the like half an hour into the end of it. Basically just going to run down the clock and see where everyone finishes, and then I'll make a roundup video probably on Tuesday or something. Play for trophies. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the drops in World Champions they're no different. The crates are pretty bad still. You know, they've got the peak keys in them and that stuff. Man, it's so stormy in the UK right now. It's been raining and windy all night. It's crazy. What's up, Sabresto? I seek faction for next transfer. My line, Sabresto name. Give me Okay. Sounds good. Top lock, call me David. I'll try and remember. Our coins and cans went for 6.5 to 200. Oof. You're just having to coin to score points, yeah? I know, we just play when we want, no schedule. Yeah, see, that's the problem. That's the problem, isn't it? Because then you're going to have periods where there's no one around. And that's the worst. That's the only thing you're going to be protecting yourself from with the schedule. In a normal war, maybe you don't need it because you're like all these factions are really powerful, so they should dominate anyway. But in War of Champions, you want your faction to be warring 24/7, basically, no downtime. And let's see who's warred the most. 186. Yeah, they've warred the most. Oh no, this one, Juggernauts. 198. So they've warred the most. You're not too far behind. 193. So you've warred quite a lot. It'd be cool if it was like it showed how long your wars were, like either on average or total, like total war time. So we could see how long people would actually been warring for. That'd be kind of cool. If you're the top, have a team in queue all the time or most of the time. Ah, okay. I guess they can let people start getting some milestones. Let's see the breakdown. We've got some people with quite low scores, like 50k or less. Quite a few actually. About 10 maybe. 10 with 50k or less, which is kind of surprising. Same with this faction, 50k, and they're top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with 50k or less. So yeah, I guess you're gonna always have your heavy hitters hitting harder. I think it's gonna be the same in pretty much every faction though. Banned from war. I'm not sure what that's about. This faction seems to be a little bit better. Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, most of them are down here. 6. They've got 6 with 50k or less. Bit better spread here, but I think this faction's warred the most, so they might have some sort of schedule set up for their guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Let me check out you guys as well. Did I check out you guys already? I don't think I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. See, anyone could be one of the guys who scores like 10k in a World Champions. I could be that guy. I'd happily be that guy. I'd probably want to score 50k though for the little medal, whatever it's called. Let's go to scores again. My faction Tsunami has a lot of less wars overall, but we had a lot of 20-30 minute wars. Kind of sucks. I guess it's like kind of coinish, right? Coin wars for that to be the case. Your faction did have really low wars, low defeats at one point, right? The other defeats have come up a little bit. Your faction had really low defeats. I even checked you out to see if you had, the level 1s generals. I mean, this one, Twilight Princess is quite low defeats. Just not warred as many times as the people around them. Guess it's kind of long wars. It's like the faction's willing to coin more, will have less defeats and less wars, but still be higher up than the people around them. The rest look okay-ish. Maybe this one looks a bit odd. But your one is, I think it's still quite low. You're the obvious low one here. Everyone around you's like 50 plus, and you're at 45, right? Was it 45? Right. Yeah, 45. But you're not doing too badly, all things considered. The fact that you've obviously warred less than other people, just hitting bigger points. How does one participate in World Champions? You have to be in a 1A region. You have to be in a top faction, and the top faction is generally a faction with either lots of whales in it, or well, it's generally going to have high spenders in there, because you've got to have the top teams basically consistently over the qualifying period, and that can change. If you've got free-to-plays in your World Champions group, like let's say you're all free-to-play in your qualifying faction, and then a new character comes out that is like dominating, like let's say Mercer is dominated quite a bit, none of you are going to have him really unless you saved all your coins for that like character to come out, which I guess is definitely a way you could go. I shared the live link here for my faction. It's all good. Thank you very much, Marcos. Just gonna be checking out the scores. We're gonna have like I call it like my own lockdown official scoreboards in about an hour. Will be end of day 2. Yesterday we did the same for end of day 1, and then we'll do one right at the end of the event as well. In about 8 hours I'll stream again. How do you know what a 1A region is? You can check the forums. They did an update on the forums. When the original breakdown of the regions happened, I'll make a video next week about transfers opening up, but when the original breakdown of the regions happened, I made a video about that. Basically, if you were interested in World Champions, you would have known, because you would have sought out that information. If you're interested in World Champions now, you're gonna find out, aren't you? Because you're interested in information, you're gonna look for it. It's not easy. I'm in a 1A region on one of my factions. Strangely enough, it was the faction that I don't think should have been in 1A, and then my other faction should have been in 1A, and it wasn't. It's just really weird. But next season, I guess, next War of Champions qualifying season, it looks like my regions are getting swapped around. So my region chambers will be going to 1A. Which I don't know why they weren't 1A anyway. Because we, like Man on the Moon has said on my streams and stuff, got like, I don't know, 3 or 4 of the top 100 factions in there, which doesn't make sense not to have that region in 1A. And we've got a lot of whales there as well. Hell's Army. Let's see how Mr. C's doing. I know he was at like 100k yesterday or something. 129k. His chamber's a good region. Looking for a place to transfer after. So it's a tough region. We've got a lot of good factions. That's the issue. And because we're going to 1A now, we potentially could have another whale faction just move in. We did have TTT in our region before for TOC. It was actually quite funny the way it happened. We had a faction move in. I can't remember their name. I think it was called like Savage or something like that. And they moved in, and they did have a lot of like spenders in their faction and everything. And then I think literally like 4 or 5 days later, TTT moved in, And then the Savage faction moved out. It's just like they didn't want to. They wanted to try and be a dominant force in the region, and then they realized they couldn't be if the TT moved in. My faction stayed because we're not too worried about competition and stuff. But yeah, we got quite a lot of good factions in there. And then after TOC, we got to TOC finals. Like, I think we came second to last or last, but we did have the least factions in our region compared to the other regions. Like, basically, it went in faction order. Like, let's say the top region in TOC was literally the one that had the most factions, and then second was the second place was the one that had the second most factions. TOC was a flawed system, just because it rewarded you too heavily based on the number of factions you had in your region, not based on like anything else. There was no like average score. There was no averages or anything like that. It was just like this game rewards activity much more than pretty much anything else. Warrior Champions slightly different. The top faction isn't the most active, but they've won the most. But they've got probably the strongest team, so it makes sense. But yeah, I like my region. Originally, I did move in with another faction, and then my faction wanted to leave, and I decided to stay. Mainly because I just wanted to just settle down a little bit. I don't like transferring around too much. I was in Henry region a long time ago for like that's where I started. I was in there for ages, a couple of years, can't remember how long. And then my faction I joined wanted to move, so we went to Jeff Davis, and then we moved from Jeff Davis to Chambers, and then after being there for a few months it was pretty much the same situation again, like wanted to move again, and I was like I really like that faction too. It was like probably the best faction I've actually been in, including the faction I'm in right now, mainly just because I don't know. I'm not really that much of a social person when it comes to line chat and stuff, but I was pretty social in that faction. Pretty nice guys. Number of wars varies down to the coining. 3 to 5 don't repair as much as 1 to 2. Yeah, I mean 1 to 2 probably don't repair that much either. Like against most factions, because they'll just nuke them. But between each other, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like you're more likely to have the top 2 coin against the next 3, basically. I get that. It would be cool to see like you see, this is what should happen in War of Champions, right? Or any war, in fact. Do you know what happens in arenas when someone coins? It increases the rewards. That's what should happen in this. So every time someone coins back, it increases the rewards. Of something like there's some sort of like variable within the reward system, right? Like in here, let's say the third slot is a variable slot, and then if people are coining, this variable slot will increase. Not necessarily trainers, maybe the middle slot, like the armory tokens would just constantly increase based on people coining. That'd be pretty good. Does anyone know how to get those heart balloons? You have to do the last stage on the roadmap. I don't know if I can actually check roadmaps because my level's pretty low. You have to do Love End, this roadmap, and it's the last stage. You have to do that over and over and over and over again. So you have to complete Love Start, then you have to complete Ivanova, Romanov, and Raven. So you have to, one of them you can open for free and complete for free. The other 2 you have to buy to open and then buy the energy to complete. And then when you've completed all 3, you'll get 3 of these items to unlock this roadmap. Then you have to complete this roadmap. You'll get loads of gear and stuff, but get to the last stage and then you have to farm the last stage with the candy, and that's where the balloons drop. Not a very not a great event, but it's mainly for people who are willing to spend. The drop rate is between 1 and 1,000. I don't know how many balloons you're meant to get. I'm guessing the 1,000 is really low chance. What's the top 50k? Yeah, I'm gonna guess it's really slow, really low chance. Yeah. 12,000 heart balloons for 300 collection items. No worries, no worries. See how that battle for third's going. That looks like a pretty close fight. Does look like ETT are chasing though. I think they were a little bit more behind than they are now when the stream started. It's gonna be quite a chase though. 250k. I mean, if you win like 4 or 5 wars in a row, definitely possible. Victus has lost another one, I think, since the stream started. Don't know who dropped them. They won't be going as hard as they were. They're probably letting people hit milestones because they're like a million ahead. Walkers are actually not as far ahead as they were. They were 500k, now it's... well, it's pretty much 500k. Okay, no mind. Yeah. That's the big gap. Look at that, 5th and 6th is over a million. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm guessing it's these 3 for top 3, like to finish 3rd place, and most likely the top 2 are safe as long as they keep warring. Caught them twice this morning. Comes down to matches against SC and Jokes. Okay, so you got what? Just under 9 hours left. Gotta win those battles basically. If they get each other and go for full 30, we can make up a lot of ground. Yeah. For sure, for sure. You just gotta make sure that if you match the top 2, you don't make those wars last too long. Like, coining against them is probably counterproductive. You're better off just trying to hit your 4 points and letting them nuke you. Like, straight up, you're probably gonna lose those fights anyway. You're better off trying to get other people that you can nuke. You want quick wars, right? Because the win bonus is really high. So you want to be consistently hitting that win bonus. 24, is it 24k? That'll be the one thing that makes you catch up. Okay, we'll look at the 16th place one again. Okay, there's a gap. There is a gap here, and I think it was 20. Was it 22nd and 21st? There's a gap as well. And then it was 30. This was the one that was. This is a pretty good fight. 30th and 31st. They're in different pools, I'm pretty sure. At this point, it could be worth dropping defense. Yeah, indeed. As sad as that sounds, you just want that. You do not want to have long wars that you can't win. It won't. Not that you can't win. That you're not most likely not going to win. You want them to be over done with really quickly. What are the queue times like? I guess my guess is that a lot of these lower factions aren't queuing as heavily now. I'm trying to think of ways that could make it. Like, I think they could maybe have it so that like every 10 wars that your faction actually participates in, like a mission tab that's limitless, like up to 1,000, and then every 10 wars you get something like a crate that your faction participates in, and it doesn't matter who participates, you know, sort of like Onslaught, and that would promote just actually warring. It would actually just promote warring, even if like this bottom faction has nothing to war for anymore. Nothing to war for. Their members have milestones to hit maybe. I wonder if anyone's hit. They have to hit 500k. Oh, this guy. Where is he? This guy has to hit 500k. He has to hit 500k, and then he can get the Steve guy if he wants him. Or he has to buy one of the oh, this one's close. You got some like people hitting some big points in this faction, and even though they're last. Where it goes though. Hi from Poduli. I keep calling your faction Poduli. Look how close it is, a close battle you've got right here. 4.82, 4.81. And that's the rewards difference between the two break, 30th and 31st. You don't get much more, like 10,000 armory tokens and 10 bennies, but it's better. It's definitely better. What's up, Justinator? How's it going? How's it going? I know I'm not having a good day, so I hope you are. That's sad to hear, man. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm okay. I'm not having a great day, but I'm not bad. The weather outside is horrible. I don't know if you're hearing it. It could be hailstones, wind blowing stuff around constantly. It's really stormy in the UK. We've got like a storm coming in. It's got a name, you know, some name. But yeah. I mean, right now we are getting war cans. We're collecting war cans, so maybe that's the reason people. I mean, I guess you could just war and not can. I guess you can just not can. Read like RF. So it's RF Dooley. RF Dooley. Or is it Roof? Roof. That's interesting. I know it's Russian typography, so it's always different. Like your name right now, I could not pronounce that in English, but if I hit translate, it is Pafnutzi. Pafnutzi. Storm Sierra. Is it hitting you guys? Is it hitting you guys? I got woken up in the middle of the night for it. Now, storms are always called women's names. I don't know why, but they're always called women's names. Same with like tornadoes and stuff, I'm pretty sure. They're never called men's names. I'm not going to say any reason why that could be, but it just is. Right now, it's not like raining, like too bad, but it's like it's spitting rain, but it's just so windy that it's hitting my window like really fast. But nice to see you, Cygnus. How you doing, man? Did you say hello earlier? Completely missed you if you did. Don't think you did. Just been lurking. It's all good. It's all good. Well, I'm good. Old Iowa in America, we're just getting rain, but I'm just going through some stuff with a friend of mine. I don't know if she'll stay friends with me. It's tough, man. It's tough. I don't know how old you are, man, but it's probably not what you want to hear, but I'll be honest with you. When I was young, my friendships were really important to me, but I'm not friends with anyone that I used to know, man. Like, I don't live near them anymore. Everything changes as you get older. New friends and stuff. It's just normal, right? You gain and lose friends all the time. It can be different ways it happens, but I know it doesn't sound great, but it's just the way it is. So don't think about it too much. Just, I don't know. Don't let it weigh on you, man. That's all. Don't let it weigh on you. It felt like my whole house shook earlier. Yep. I'm on I'm end terrace, so my house is a little bit like open to the elements. I only just got here really. Oh, okay. Like, I'd open my window right now, but I'm pretty sure my room would somehow get darker because it looks so dingy outside. It looks horrible. It is 4 o'clock and it looks like it's so late right now. There's no light outside at all. At all. Thanks for your advice. It's not really advice. It's like, do what you want to do with this. Try and save the friendship, whatever you want to do. But just don't let it weigh on you too much, man. Don't let it affect your life too much. There'll be new friends, and you never know. You can reunite with friends. I've reunited with friends from school and from other places. I started talking to a friend I haven't spoken to like 4 years recently. So it just happens, man. It just happens. I'm just gonna turn on my light 1 second. If you want advice, I don't know what to say. I would say just don't be too needy as a person in a friendship. You know, if there's issues, just chill on the friendship a little bit. It's all good. Then there's next month, there's the month after. Start talking again. That's the way it goes sometimes. Really depends on the situation. So just play it how you feel is the best. Like I said, don't worry too much about it. Just invest all your time and money into the game until you eventually quit. You discuss its scope for your practices, then realize your life is spiraled out of control. Yes, this is great advice. Great advice. This man knows the truth. High school friends usually don't last. I mean, it really just depends. There's some that last forever. There's some that don't. And then, you know, I've met some people that I would say are really close friends to me. Like I met them, you know, when I was much older, not when I was, you know, a teenager. Okay, let's see how the battle's going. Oh, there's a little bit of a gap, 50k, but that's like, that just means they could potentially have faced each other, and then Juggernaut's won that one, and then they get a bigger bonus because of that. But yeah, this gap is closing. We're looking at what? That's sub 30k now, 300k, sorry, sub 300k, and I'm pretty sure it was 450. So definitely potential there. Definitely. What's up, Alex? Thanks for tuning in. How you doing? I have a problem when I press inbox, it keeps crashing. When you say you press inbox, do you mean there's a reward in your inbox that you keep opening and then it keeps crashing? Yeah, exactly, Cygnus, exactly. It's hard, but you know, and one of them people should be you, you know? You should be your best friends. There's nothing wrong with knowing yourself really well. Alex, it means you've already claimed the rewards, and for whatever reason it's still there. Try and claim some of the other rewards. If there's a reward there that you've already claimed, sometimes it doesn't refresh it properly. What I would recommend is go up to here, and then go to get free coins, and then watch a video, okay? And then generally that flushes your inbox, and then any rewards that you've already claimed, it just removes them. Because for me, like, I've got no rewards, but if there was a reward here that I'd already claimed, sometimes it can just... If you have 2 devices, that's where it sometimes messes up. Do you play on 2 devices? Like, sometimes I claim a reward on my PC, and then I go to my tablet and the reward's still there, and when I claim it, it just restarts my game. It does that over and over again if I keep trying to claim it. Eventually it just disappears. Like after an hour or 2. Because then it realizes actually he's already claimed this. Because every single rewards like it will have like a code in the background, what it is, and it'll be like you've already claimed this code effectively, so it will refresh your game. So it's so that you don't get multiple rewards. Basically, just wait. I know it sounds like another way you can do it is you just start claiming the other rewards. Like find out which one's making you crash, and then start claiming the other ones. If it's all of them, you'd probably claim them all. You know whether you've claimed them all or not. I don't know. But this is how I've normally found it to work. One-way tickets. I was saying this, you might be interested to know that I'm going to start streaming on Twitch every now and again. Probably every week eventually. The aim is going to be every Monday. I've been looking for a game to play. I have been watching some streamers and stuff. And the game that they play every now and again, I actually kind of like. I wouldn't mind playing once a week. I don't think I could play it like every day like some of them do, but it's called Dead by Daylight, and it looks kind of cool. Where you're the killer or you're the survivor. I've only played it for like half an hour, so I'm a bit of a noob at it, but I might start playing it on Mondays for a couple of hours. Just so I start actually streaming on Twitch. It was always the plan, it's just I never really got around to it. And I kind of want to eventually start doing some like art stuff on Twitch, just drawing, maybe painting. I'm not really into painting, but maybe painting. My brother bought me a paint set, and I'm just like, why? I don't paint. Dead by Daylight's really good. Dead by Daylight is awesome. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people play it. It just seems fun. I probably don't have a. I don't have a what's the word, like disposition or preference to whether it's whether I play survivor or killer. I actually don't care, so I'd mix it up a little bit. It's not working. Just wait. Try and claim the other rewards. If they're all making you refresh, then you've probably claimed them all already. I mean, you should know whether you claimed them all already. If you play on two devices, that's generally the issue. Like when you switch from one device to the other, it keeps your rewards there. Oh, when you actually just press on the inbox, like when you just press the rewards, or when you press on the button on the right hand side. Oh, that's different. If it's when you press on the actual button, like now, like that, is it when you do like that? I've got no idea. That's really weird. I'd contact support with that. That obviously shouldn't happen. Generally, the refresh thing comes in when you're trying to claim rewards that you've already claimed. For whatever reason, just does. I actually found a kind of we need that lockdown merch. Yeah, I'm thinking of designs right now. I'm probably gonna have to design the first one myself, and then the second one I'll get someone to make it for me if the first one like sells enough. Like the first one's basically to see how much people would actually want my stuff, and then the second one would be like, if okay, people want my stuff, I'll get someone who can actually make a really nice design. And I'll use the money from the first one to buy the design, basically, because it's not cheap. I actually found something recently that was good, so I'm going to mute the website. We'll come back to this, though. We will come back to this. Should we say we'll come back to this in like 20 minutes? No, 25 minutes. I'll do a rundown of the scores for like the official end of day 2 score lines, and then we'll come back to that for like 5 more rounds. That was good. I saw someone playing it on their stream. I was like, this could be fun, and it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. Who's winning there? Let me just check. Pernick's got 6. I'm getting caught up quick. The second I changed how I was doing it, like not doing it straight away, because I have a little advantage that I'm getting wrecked. I need like 3 seconds or 4 second advantage over you guys to have a chance, seemingly. That was fun going to make food now. All good, bro, all good. So we're probably going to do 5 more rounds, like I said, in 25 minutes. That was good. Oh, there's a little bit of a gap. 100k suddenly opened up between 3rd and 4th. They were neck and neck. And look at that, barely 200k now. 4th and 5th. Not even 200k. Man, it's getting tight. It's getting tight. Let's see what can happen there. What about the other positions? We'll scroll down. 30th and 31st, I think. Look at that, they're just neck and neck the entire time. I guess they're just not matching each other. Which you would expect them to do, because I guess they're going to be warring quite heavily, like, because they don't want to become, they want to come 30th. I mean, let's be honest, the next faction up is in trouble of getting caught here. Yeah, they're not in trouble of getting caught themselves, but these 3, 2 of these guys playing for top 30. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it's 10,000 armory tokens and 10 bennies. Getting distracted by this while warring. Thank God it was sorry, man. Oh, God. Pernix, why aren't you scoring? Sorry, man. I've got to find these words. Oh, God. That was good fun though. You hit some of the big ones there as well. Well, it was fun, but AP, I haven't, because, but got AP homework. I haven't because of WoC. Keep kidding it, WoC. WoC. I'll catch the stream there. All good. I'm gonna be streaming for like, probably like another 55 minutes. We're gonna hit the 2-hour mark. But in 20 minutes or so, we'll do another round of the. Well, we might just finish up the stream with some of that. In 20 minutes, we'll do another round. We'll chill out again, and then we'll finish up the stream with some more of that. That was actually really fun. That was pretty good fun. Might do that on Thursday streams as well, just for a couple of rounds, see how we do. I have to admit, this stream made me feel a lot better. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm happy you feel better, man. Happy you're feeling better. It was good fun. That was actually really fun. I can't give you that much of advice though. I was seeing words and like, yeah, I'm just about to type it, and everyone just started stealing all my words. I'm just like, I think the second time around was a bit fairer. Halfway through the first letter, when the line got there. That seems to be reasonable. I can actually see when you guys see it on the stream, so maybe I can time it a little bit better there. Lockdown ELA teacher. ELA teacher? What's that? What's that? Is that like, there was something that used to use in my school or in my college, I can't remember what it's called, like, it was some woman's name, and it was like a typing program. I think it was like Stone. Something Stone, or, and it was quite famous, I can't remember what the name of it is. I can't remember. And it was some typing software. And basically, I went from typing like, I don't know, 15 to 20 words a minute to like 50 to 60. English language arts. Okay. It's all good fun. It was all good fun. It's brain activity, guys. It's good. Good for you. I've never heard of it being called that. I guess, is that what it's called in other countries? English lecture arts. Which one is it? Is it basically just someone who teaches English as a foreign language? Is that what it is? In America, it's ELA for just English. Ah, I see. I see. And in England, we just call it English literature, pretty much, and then English language. We have two different English. You get double marks for English. Like it's two separate qualifications, and science is the same. I think it's science. I can't remember. It's like, is it science, biology, and science? Is it chemistry? You only do biology and chemistry, and that's why you get like double science as a qualification, like double C, or like you can get like CB, BC, AB, BA, double A, you know. Same with English. But most people were better at English language than English literature, because I think most people obviously spoken English the majority of their life in England. But in terms of writing, they might not be able to write it properly. In terms of structure, you know, that sort of thing. Like I can say, let's for instance, I would say, I like chicken more than I like beef, right? But most people could say that I like chicken more than I like beef. But if they wrote it, some people will get the than and then mixed up, and they'll write then I like like just it's like, okay, because their literature is just not there, whereas the language is there. Chemistry, physics, science, and science here. Okay, I think it's physics. Oh no, wait, physics isn't part of science. Like physics is an actual like different part. Like that's advanced science. Like in England we have like GCSEs is up until we're 15 or 16, and that's double science, and I'm pretty sure that's chemistry, biology. And then when you get into A levels, which is like college, you do that for 2 or 3 years. You can do chemistry and biology again. You might be able to pick up physics at this point, I'm not sure. Or you might be able to pick up like advanced science, like there's advanced maths at that point as well. So you can get 2 different grades of maths when you get into college. And then in university, it breaks down into lots of different sub qualifications. Like there's actual physics in theory, that sort of thing. But then you probably have to get, then there's, let's say you get 4 or 5 different types of science qualifications, you're like not a master of science, but it's just more like it fits into a certain type of, and I'm not sure what it's called. I never went to university, but like it'll be terms based on the qualifications you've got, and then it will give you like a bigger qualification because of it. And it's generally what you're going for in university as it is. Like you're going for the main qualification, but you have to do all these like sub classes to hit that. In America, it's different, right? You have to get credits. Never really liked that system. It didn't sound great to me. Because you could, yeah, it just sounded weird. Earth science, though, I like that. Earth science. Isn't that just basically like biology? Math here is algebra, geometry, algebra 2, then calculus. 22 credits. Yeah, don't forget trigonometry. Yeah, for England, maths is all of those combined. So not like separate or anything. So you don't have like sub classes. It's just like one class teaching you maths and all of it broken down. Not the funnest. That's why I think a lot of people get put off by subjects, because they're learning something within like maths or science they don't really want to learn, or they're not interested in, or their brain doesn't function towards learning that very well, or they learn it very quick. That was the thing that was wrong with me. I learned things quite quick, whereas other people didn't, or at least the school didn't think they did. And we do things for like 5 lessons, which I learned in like 1, or like 5 weeks, which I learned in like 2 lessons. And I'm just sitting there bored out of my skull trying to learn something that I've already learned. Like, I learned Pythagoras theorem really quickly, but it was really boring. You know. But other people didn't get it, so it took ages to learn. And I kind of lost interest in maths because of that. There it goes. Not mine. Yeah, it's gonna be different. I guess America's pretty messed up in terms of like, because it's so big, you got different states that do different things, different ways. 2 + 2 is 4, -1 is 3. Quick maths every day on the block. Smoking trees. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. The thing go. Ratatata. Earth science equals anything non-living. So the Earth's non-living. I like that. Non-living. That's interesting though. When you say non-living, do you mean like? Oh, that's weird. Do you mean like electronics? Would that be considered non-living? Circuitry, like circuit boards and stuff like that? Or are you talking about like the science of a box? That's really interesting. I understand what is considered non-living and stuff. Okay, 10 minutes, and we'll go for the official rocks. Rocks. Who knows? Rocks could be alive. We just don't know. We just don't know. They're not alive how we understand them, that's for sure. You got no brains that we know or we understand. Science of rocks. Like, is water considered alive? Have you ever had a pet rock? I think there are some people who have had pet rocks, right? I've read about this. You know? Weather. Ah, you see. It's interesting, right? It's interesting. Because I'm pretty sure the definition of life is to do with like lightning and... Where there's life, there has to be 2 things. You guys will remember this. I don't know, it's been a while. Like it's lightning and something else. And then like, that's why Venus is quite a strange planet, because it has both of these 2 things, but there's no life. But it's just because the planet is so caustic, because it spins too, I think it spins too slowly or too fast. I think it's too slowly. And then it's really toxic atmosphere. But it has microorganisms in Venus, they found. But they don't really count that as life. I mean, even though it is, but they just don't count it. Okay, 10 minutes, and we'll hit up the word game again for a little bit. Probably 4 or 5 rounds at least. Carbon, oxygen, and energy. I don't think you need oxygen to have life. I don't think you have to have oxygen to have life. I mean, I'm fairly certain there are some species on this planet that don't breathe oxygen. Like some worms and stuff, I don't think have to have oxygen. There are some things that are really deep under the in the sea where it's really, or they have to have really low amounts of oxygen or something. I'm not sure. But that isn't what is needed for life, I'm pretty sure. I'll have to Google it afterwards. Check it out on my Discords. I know one of them was lightning. Basically electricity. And I can't remember what the other one was. It'd be something really weird. Could be, like you say, carbon. And I guess the lightning's considered the energy. There was a really good documentary I saw about, I think it was about Venus, because it's it's planet Earth's sister planet. It's exactly the same size as planet Earth. Everything's identical between Venus and planet Earth, everything, except Venus spins quicker, slower. So like a year for us, a year for them is like 30 years for us or something. Right, our planet's already spun around multiple times in terms of planet rotation. That's literally the only difference. It's crazy. No worries, Frankie. Take care. What is life? Baby, don't hurt. There's only one cell organism that doesn't need oxygen. It's always plankton. Venus is the hottest planet. Yeah, it's because it spins really slowly and it's quite close to the sun. Alright. It doesn't have a... but it's constantly got lightning storms as well. Like 24/7 lightning storms going on Venus, which is really crazy. Venus temperature is what makes a huge difference. I think it's the speed of it spinning, but that might be based on how close it is to the sun. Have you heard of Betelgeuse the star? No. No. Neptune has the longest spin. I'm not sure. I'd have to check. I might be wrong with the. Let me just check the planet. Venus should tell me a year length. Oh no, it spins faster than Earth. Okay, it's because it spins so quick. Okay, it's the other way around. Their year is 116 days on Venus, whereas ours is 365, obviously. But I'm not sure. It could be based on how close it is, right? Someone will have to work that out. It could be based on mass of the planet and how close it is. So, like, the bigger the planet is, the faster it can spin versus the sun based on distance, or the other way around. I've not really ever looked into that, but if you're saying Neptune is the slowest spinning, then that makes sense because it is the furthest away, right? Have you ever heard of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I have indeed. He could what's the word? He can manipulate midichlorians himself to bring back life, or whatever it was said. Except he couldn't save himself. Although there are theories that he's still alive. Pretty good. Not much of a Star Wars fan, but I know some stuff. The chat is quiet. Well, it's a chill stream. These War of Champions streams are always chill streams. I just do it for more like cataloging, or like to have the information there, sort of deal. That makes sense. I did it for War of Champions 1, I'll do it for War of Champions 2, I'll do it for War of Champions 3, regardless of if I'm in it or not. As long as I'm playing the game, I'll try and have the War of Champions information there. What teams am I using in game? One of my regions I'm using Priya Leader, Princess, Angel, Alice and Tobin. I'm thinking of replacing Tobin with a Disarm, especially once I get Princess to S-Class. In the other region, it's kind of a messed up team. I don't know. It's not really going well. I mean, I'm using Carl Lead as well. It's like Carl, Heng Yen, Priya, Disarm Earl, and Angel. But yeah, I just don't like facing Doc Stevens without having Angel. Otherwise, I'm just running pure RNG basically at that point. Like, I'm having to just hope that things proc in a certain way. I don't like that. Like, especially since I've got Rampage in that region. That's made a big difference. Like, since I got Rampage, I'm trying to think of a team. Unfortunately, I got Rampage in the region I've probably got the least depth in, so I can't build my team very well. And Rampage is just so powerful. How do we go from The Walking Dead Road to Survival to how to compensate for losing a possible friend to a word game? English, cast and math, then science and now planets. This is a roller coaster. That's chatsy, man. That's chats. Just chatting along. Just chatting along. Okay, we've got 10 seconds and we're just going to do the official, like, my lockdown official top 37. This is the order it is at the end of day 2, no matter what the order is here, okay? There we go. All Out War ends in 8 hours. So first place is Victus. Then we've got Walkers, Juggernauts, Scorched Earth, Ekthros, Ton, Theon, ETT, Days After Rodeo, Hummingbirds in 7th, We Teach Fear in 8th, Biohazard in 9th, Sick Freaks in 10th. In 11th, we've got Nightmare OS or Nightmare Bears. 12th, we've got Cynthia Tsunami. 13th, we've got Outcasts. We've got Dead Reckoning WoC in 14th. The Infected in 15th. 13 Night in 16th. iZombies in 17th. Cheese Factory in 18th. Anarquistas Elite in 19th. Nightmare in 20th. Twilight Princess in 21st. One Way Ticket in 22nd. Z Kingdom in 23rd, or Z Kingdom in 23rd. Deviant Spartans 24th. Rehab in 25th. Evil Intentions in 26th. The Exile Tigers in 27th. Daryl Dixon in 28th. Hell's Army in 29th. Suicide Squad and RF Dooley, or Poe Dooley, but RF Dooley, pretty much joint neck and neck. 30th, 31st. There's going to be there's less than 10k between those. That's crazy. Then we have Imperium Romanum in 32nd. In 33rd, we have Copenhagen. The Misfits in 34th. Survivors in 35th. Get to the Chopper in 36th. And then Colombia Ganadores in 37th. So that's the rundown of the top 37 factions. I'm thinking we play a little bit more of that word game, if you guys want to. I'm thinking maybe 5 more rounds. Oh, we got to level 7 actually. So we how many? Depending on how many people play, we'll play a few more rounds. We'll play a few more rounds. I'd say we play maybe either 3, 5, or 8, based on how many people are interested in playing, basically. Because this is a World Champions stream, guys, not a guess the word stream. This is just a little bonus to hit on top, but it's fun. But it's pretty fun. Narco, that would have been one. I'm pretty sure that would have been one. I'm pretty sure. My stream is a little delayed, so if you're getting it in the last 5 seconds, it's last 2 or 3 seconds, you're probably not in, unfortunately. That's the unfortunate bit. But that was fun. Nice game. Yeah, I think we'll hit that up on my live streams every now and again, just for a bit of fun. See how well we can do, There are other games on there. I have to check out what the other games are. We'll check out what the other games are for future live streams. There are other word games on there, but it seems pretty fun. Playing guess the words while fighting SE. Priorities, mate, priorities. You're really close. 200s. Stream is delayed by 20 seconds. I don't think it is, because on my screen it's delayed by 15. But it depends on your connection. I think if I hit refresh on my thing, let me just see. Hit refresh, it might make it more synced. Yeah, there it just went worse. Now it's 30 seconds behind. Yeah, over 30 seconds. Straight up 30 seconds behind the stream now. But before I was 15. Gonna hit refresh again. And now I am 35 seconds behind the stream. Jeez. It gets worse the more you refresh. That's crazy. Oh, maybe I have to hit the live button. No, I am on the live button. Why is it getting worse? Yeah, it's got a lot worse. That's mad. I might have to look into... there are some things you can do on YouTube to make the delay less. Your quality suffers a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. RTS isn't like a game that has really quick movement. It's not an FPS game or anything, so that isn't too much of a big deal. It isn't too much of a big deal. It's between 15 and 20. Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird. Like for me, when I was originally looking, it was like 15, and then when I refreshed, it went to like 35. Crazy. It's weird, and there's nothing I can do about it, I don't think, except that thing that I said with the YouTube like decoder. You can check. You can select a certain decoder. Okay, let's go through the scores. See how tight it is. Still tight between these three. Like less than 500k in it. These ones aren't really battling. They're a bit behind and they're in the same group. What is that group? Is it 6th to 11th? 7th to 10th. Okay. Oh, 4th to 6th. Okay, that is actually a group. 4th to 6th. Okay, so these two are effectively battling for top 6. Days After Rodeo and Humming Jokers. Yeah, these two are in the battle. Okay, and then it was to 10th. So these two would be effectively fighting, but they're 500,000 behind. These two here. Dick Freaks and Nightmare Bears. How windy was it today for you this morning? The wind has been taking down trees here. I haven't looked outside, but I was woken up during the night by wind and noise. Yeah, it was mad. Howling, you know, howling gales, properly like giving it the old whistling. I mean, it's pretty windy now. I think we had hailstones, or it was so windy it was making the small amount of rain that I was getting just hit my window pane really, really loud. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's been pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. I'm just going to skim through the scores again. The fear is that it takes up a tree and just like wrecks something. I've got a tree right outside my house, you know. But it's pretty well rooted from what I understand. After my stream, I'm actually due to go down the roads, so I'll survey the area, see how bad it is. But it shouldn't be too bad, because I live next to like a park. And generally speaking, when the park's nearby, you're generally okay, because there's lots of trees and stuff, and they'll break up the wind a little bit. Maybe in the park there could be some trees that got wrecked. How long is this meant to last for? This old wind. Hopefully not too bad. It's raining again for me. And these leads are shrinking a little bit. Not sure. Until tomorrow. Okay. Well, fingers crossed, no more issues. Nightmare would be something destroy some part of someone's house or something. Insurance companies are pretty weird when it comes to that sort of stuff. Like, oh, this wasn't covered by insurance. You know, it's like, well, what have I got insurance for, mate? This is exactly what house insurance is for. I knew someone who had their roof like kind of messed up by a tree hitting the top of their building, or like a branch or something that got lodged. And because it wasn't the weather itself and it was something that got blown onto it, he was in like a weird position with his insurance company, and it took him months to fight it, which is just stupid. I mean, they don't want to give away money basically if they can help it, but it's just like, yeah. Okay, we're getting to the 2-hour mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play that game for like a couple more rounds, just a couple more rounds. But because of the stream delay, it is a bit annoying. I do agree. Every now and again on my other streams, what I'll do is like, because I do my pulls on one region and then I go to the other region, I might like, when I go in between the two regions, I might do that little mini game just as a little bit of fun. Just for some fun, guys. Slob, I think Slob might have been one. Did we get that? That would have been it. I think you got it just after time. Just after. Thanks for the fun though, guys. That was a nice way to end the stream. Nice little bit of fun. Can you show war scores? Which players? Which players do you want to see the scores of? Which players? I mean, I can show you some scores in some factions. I don't think anyone's gone over 1 million. Okay, someone has here. There's over 1 million there. And over 1 million there. So some people are hitting the big numbers. There we go. Another 1 million. Dave the Third. So we've got a couple of millions. I guess a lot of the top factions will have someone who's got 1 million or close enough, yeah. Zeppequino, nearly 1 milli. I'll check the scores of the top 10. 900k there for Tom. Humming Jokers. It's funny because some of these factions got some really big hitters in them. Just randomly. But they're not like a top 5 faction or anything. Got a couple of 500ks. I think that's it. Okay, we've got 2 more factions to check. A couple of 500s or close. Most of these, man, it's really raining. Don't know if you can hear it. 600k. I think this is the 10th faction. Yeah, ranked 10th. Okay, and we'll check out one more faction after this. 466, 456. Okay. Let's check out one more faction. We're going to check out Twilight Princess just to see how Link's doing. And she hit her 500k. She's close. She's getting close. She might still be streaming. So what I'll do is I'll link you to her stream, guys. Let me just check. Is she live? Oh no, she's not live anymore, I don't think. Let me just check her. No, she's not live. Okay. No worries. It's all good. It's all good. I join. Definitely makes the stream more interactive. Yeah, for sure. And there are some other games on there. I have to check out what other games there are. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Just right at the end. This is like the end of day 2 scoreboards. We already ran through it, but I'll just go through it quickly. Top 3 are, as you see, Victus, Walkers, Juggernauts, but right behind Juggernauts are Scorched Earth and ETT, and then we'll just keep scrolling down. You guys can see where people are. If you know people from any of these factions, you just want to know what the scoreboards are like. There you go. I'm going to be streaming again in around about 6 hours, right at the end of War of Champions, just to get like a final rundown on the last hour or so. We'll do that game maybe then as well, just to have a bit of fun. But that is the end of my stream right now, guys. I want you guys to have fun if you are warring right now. But like I said, end of my stream. Thank you very much for tuning in. Good luck to anyone in War Champions or CRWs or whatever you've got this in War this weekend. But I will see you later, guys, for some more War Champions. In terms of just seeing who's going to be the victor, I think it's going to be Victus by the looks of things. But I think that 3rd place slot is very debatable. And a couple of the other slots are very much up for grabs as well. But yeah, that's it on my stream. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving. Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye.